Good morning. We are going to start solving one-step equations today. We are on page 17 in your purple packet. So it says in an equation, to solve for the variable, we need to perform the inverse operation or the opposite operation. Inverse is just a fancy math word for opposite. So the opposite of adding, we know, is subtracting. The opposite of subtracting, then, is adding. For multiplication and division, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. And the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So we will look at the equation, see what's happening, and then do the opposite. So moving on to number 1, our equation is x minus 2 equals 7. So we're trying to isolate the variable x, trying to get x alone. And I see that in my equation I have minus 2, subtracting 2. So I'm going to do the opposite and add 2 to both sides. Negative 2 and positive 2 makes 0, so we just have an x, and then 7 plus 2 gives us 9. Remember, you can always check these by plugging your answer back in for x. So instead of x minus 2 equals 7, I would replace the x with a 9, and 9 minus 2 equals 7, and I get 7 equals 7, so I know my answer is correct. Number 2, I have negative 5n equals 35. Now, when there's no sign in between these two, I know that it means multiplying. It's negative 5 is being multiplied to n to equal 35. So I have to do the opposite of multiplying, which is division. So divide both sides by negative 5. So negative 5 divided by negative 5 just gives me the 1n. And then 35 divided by negative 5 is negative 7. This one is very similar, 3m. Again, no symbol in between, so that means multiplying. So I'm going to do the opposite and divide both sides by 3. So I just have an m on the left, and then on the right, 18 divided by 3 gets me 6. Number 4, we have negative 5. Oh, we just did this one. This is the same one, so we're going to skip. On to number 5. We've got some decimals, but still just regular numbers here. So let's see. Here is the variable I am trying to solve for, c. So I have 12.6 plus c equals 7. So I notice here that this is a positive 12.6. And when I see that, I also have addition there. But when deciding if I need to add or subtract the 12.6, your goal is always to try and make 0. So if I were to add 12.6 to both sides, 12.6 plus 12.6 is not 0. So I'm going to subtract 12.6 on both sides here to make 0. So I just have a c on the left, and then 7 minus 12.6, we get negative 5.6. So c equals negative 5.6. Number 6. Again, find your variable. Here I have z is being divided by 7, so I need to do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 7, because in the problem there's division, so I have to do the opposite. So I just have a z. And then on the left, I have 7 times 9, which is 63. So I get z equals 63. Number 7. Again, I have division here, s divided by negative 19, so I'm going to multiply by negative 19 on both sides, because that's the opposite of dividing. So I get s equals, and then I have 9 times negative 19, which is negative 171. So s equals negative 171. All right, that's the end of page 17. So go ahead, flip your page to the next one. All right, now on page 18, we have a few more examples and then some to try on your own here. Number 8, we have 3c. Again, no symbol between means that they are multiplying. It's very important to know. So because they're multiplying, we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 cancels, so we get c equals 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Number 9. Again, very similar, 135 equals 9z. 9 and z are being multiplied together, so we're going to do the opposite and divide both sides by 9. So we just have to do 135 divided by 9. We get 15 equals z, where z equals 15. Number 10. Here we have negative 32 equals negative 4/3 s. Again, the negative 4/3 is multiplying to s. So we are going to do the opposite and divide by 4/3, negative 4/3 s. So I'm going to divide by negative 4/3 here, and then divide by negative 4/3 on that side as well. So I just have an s on the right, and then on the left, you can type this right into your calculator, typed negative 32, divide by, and then you'll type negative 4 ABC 3. Use your ABC button. So again, that's negative 32, divide by negative 4 ABC 3. And you should get positive 24. So s equals positive 24. On to number 11, we have b minus 17 equals 11. We have our variable is being subtracted by 17, so we're going to do the opposite and add 17 to both sides. And I get b equals 11 plus 17, which is 28. Number 12, 1.2 plus k equals 3. Again, this is a positive 1.2, so we are going to subtract it in order to make 0. So we get k equals 1.8. One more. In number 13, I have f minus negative 40 equals negative 12. Now first, I would actually like to rewrite this problem. We often don't see minus and negative anymore. We would write that as plus. So I'm going to rewrite this as f plus 40 equals negative 12. Those are the same problems. Minus and negative is the same as adding. So now that I have f plus 40, I can clearly see that I just need to subtract 40 on both sides. And I get f equals negative 52. Now the other way to think of that, if you did not want to rewrite the problem, is you had f minus negative 40, so you would add negative 40 to both sides, which again is the same as subtracting. So either way you would get the same answer. On to 14. 3 more here. I have 1 1/4 plus b equals 1.6. Now you could rewrite this as 1.25 first if you wanted, or you can leave it as is. But this is a positive 1 1/4, so I need to subtract 1 1/4 from each side. So I get b equals, again, you can use your calculator for this, 1/6 minus 1 1/4, or 1.6 minus 1 1/4. You get 0.35. Use your calculators to your advantage. 15. Negative 7 times z equals 49. So negative 7 times z, these are multiplying. So we are going to do the opposite and divide. So when I do that, I get z on the left, and then on the right, 49 divided by negative 7, I get negative 7. And on to our last problem in the notes. I have, for number 16, negative 14 equals y divided by negative 7. The y is being divided by negative 7, so I'm going to do the opposite and multiply both sides by negative 7. So on the right, I just have the y, and then on the left, negative 7 times negative 14. And you get positive 98. All right, so that's it for the notes. Down here, we're going to go through these problems one at a time. You can take as much time as you need to solve them, and then it will ask you for your answer. So, starting with 17, it says, what is the solution to the equation negative 25 equals x minus 12? So think about what you have to do to both sides and get your answer. All right, so you would add 12 to both sides. Be careful with your signs. You should get negative 13. Number 18. Which equation has a equals 8 as a solution? So go ahead, solve those equations, see which one you get a equals 8 as a solution for. So the correct answer is D. For a plus 8 equals 16. To get a alone, you would subtract 8 on both sides, and you would get a equals 8 as your answer. On to 19, you have negative 3/7 h equals 6. Go ahead and solve that. So we are dividing both sides by negative 3/7. I see that I have a positive divided by a negative, so I automatically know my answer needs to be negative. And type that right into your calculator. You should get choice B. All right, 20. Go ahead and solve this. You can think of this as G divided by negative 10 equals 10. That might make it a little easier for you. Go ahead and solve. So we're going to multiply both sides by negative 10. We get G equals negative 100. So choice A. And the last one. Which equation below shows the correct first step in solving 3x equals negative 12? So choice A looks like they added 3 to both sides. Choice B, it looks like they multiplied both sides by 3. Choice C, it looks like they subtracted 3 on both sides. And then choice D, it looks like they divided by 3 on both sides. So which of those choices is correct? A, B, C, or D? The correct choice would be to divide both sides by 3. So that's choice D. Hopefully you did well. And on the next page, there is some more practice for you to work on. So you've got a maze here, and then you've got one more question of which choice A or B is solved incorrectly, which one's wrong, and to explain your answer. For the maze, you start here where it says begin. Let me turn it sideways so you can see what I'm talking about. So you'll start here where it says begin. You're going to solve this equation. If you get x equals 4 as an answer, you'll do this one next. If you get x equals 1/4 as an answer, you would go this way and solve this equation next. So you just follow around your answers until you get to the end, which is in the top left corner. So that's it for the rest of the class. Have a great day.